In baseball, a grand slam happens when one batter at home plate hits the ball thrown by one opposing pitcher, and the ball travels beyond the reach of any one of the batter's opponents positioned beyond the pitching mound. The first, second, and third bases are loaded. That is to say, each one of the infield bases are occupied by a teammate of the batter. After the batter strikes the ball with force, it flies over a left, center, or right outfield fence into a seating area often referred to as the bleachers. In common baseball speak, the batter's hit is a grand slam home run. Probably the grand slam is the most dynamic offensive weapon in baseball. Usually, the strongest batter on the team is the one who belts a grand slam. A grand slam is a rare event. It does not occur during every baseball game.
June 26, 1920. Chicago. Cubs Park, now known as Wrigley Field.
A baseball game is played between two American under-21 high school boys baseball champion teams, New York Commerce High School versus Chicago Lane Technical School. With 2 outs and the bases loaded during the ninth and final inning, Henry Louis Gehrig steps up to home plate to bat for Commerce. Gehrig smashes a grand slam to clinch a victory of 12-6 for the New York team. Chicago Tribune reporter James Crusenberry describes the grand slam in glowing terms.
The ball sailed out high and far and cleared the right field wall by many feet, finally landing in Sheffield Avenue and bouncing onto a front porch across the street. It was a blow of which any big leaguer would have been proud. It was wobbled by a boy who has not yet learned to shave.
In fact, Gehrig turned 17 1 week before he hit the grand slam in Chicago. Also, Crusenberry compared Gehrig to George Herman Babe Ruth, a brash, exciting, and powerful swinging outfielder for the New York Yankees, recently acquired from the Boston Red Sox.
While the young man in Chicago had bashed a grand slam for his high school team, Babe Ruth had already smacked 24 home runs through May and June of 1920 for the Yankees. At that time, a total number of home runs far above what most other batters could accomplish during an entire regular season that lasted through September. After Gehrig graduated from high school, he entered Columbia University in New York as a student athlete. Simultaneously, Gehrig felt obligated to help secure badly needed cash to finance health care for his aging parents. By then, New York Yankees scouts were looking at Gehrig. While inspired by the impressions of Chicago Tribune reporter James Crusenberry, the Yankee scouts began negotiating with Gehrig. They offered a bonus of $1,500, about $25,000 in 21st century money, to join the Yankees organization. Gehrig accepted the offer and departed from Columbia.
to help Gehrig acquire more of the confidence and experience he must have to play professional baseball at the major league level, the Yankees assign him to Hartford, Connecticut, where he plays for a minor league team managed by Patty O'Connor.
June 15th, 1923, New York, the Bronx Borough. The American League Baseball Club of New York, nicknamed the Yankees, are playing at home in their newly built Yankee Stadium. At that moment, the Yankees' one-loss record is standing next to last place in the American League, partly because Babe Ruth, their star slugger, has been out of the lineup for several games due to an injury. Even so, during that early regular season game against the St. Louis Browns, by the top of the ninth inning, the Yankees are ahead by the score of 10-0. With a win for the Yankees all but assured, Yankees manager Miller Huggins substitutes Wally Pipp at first base with a rookie, now known as Lou Gehrig.
As Gehrig appears on a major league field for the first time, he does not bat against an opposing pitcher. Rather, he is positioned at first base, where he makes the final putout of the game to seal victory for the Yankees.
Through 1923 and 1924, Gehrig plays a total of 23 games for the Yankees. During 38 total at-bats, he grinds out 17 hits, including 5 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run, to compile an impressive batting average of .447. Yet, the Yankees continue to assign and reassign Gehrig to Hartford. During 1921, 1923, and 1924, Gehrig plays 205 games for Hartford, and he smashes 61 home runs and tallies a solid .344 batting average. June 1st, 1925, Yankee Stadium. The Yankees are struggling in the American League standings at 7th place, only one notch above the last place Boston Red Sox. Gehrig is assigned to pinch hit for his teammate, Paul Pee Wee Vanager, during the bottom of the 8th inning against the Washington Senators. Gehrig gets wood on the ball, but it is caught by a Senators outfielder. Thus, in quite a quiet fashion, Gehrig begins his legendary streak that eventually totals 2,130 consecutive regular season games he played for the Yankees without a break through early 1939.
From that point through the next 14 years, whenever the Yankees take the field, always Gehrig is with them. Even while he suffers back aches, broken fingers, colds, concussions, headaches, and other injuries, Gehrig starts every regular season game for the Yankees, which includes double headers, when the Yankees play 2 games against the same opponent during the same day, usually with a break of only about 45 minutes between the first and second game. To be sure, Gehrig plays for the Yankees during every single one of their post-regular season World Series games, too.
Gehrig played for the Yankees in the World Series from 1927 to 1938. But all that is years away for Gehrig and the Yankees. By the end of the game against the Senators, June 1st, 1925, the Yankees lose 5-3 to the Senators, who are aided by Walter Johnson, their future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher. June 2nd, 1925. Before the Yankees take the field to play another game against the Senators, according to Marshall Hunt, New York Daily News reporter, persistent, feeble hitting by Wally Pipp prompts Yankees manager Miller Huggins to replace Pipp with Lou Gehrig, who enters the Yankees lineup for the very first time as the starting first baseman.
The box score of June 2nd, 1925 shows Gehrig belted 3 hits during 5 at-bats, including 1 double, and he scored 1 run.
Also, while defending the Yankees at first base, Gehrig makes 9 putouts, no fielding errors. After the game, Gehrig does not go back to Hartford. This Percheron, of Yankees first baseman, smoked 4 home runs in 4 successive times at bat, 4 gaudy blows, which helped the New York team mangle Philadelphia's Athletics, 20-13 in a 3-hour brawl, which threatened to leap out of Shibe Park any minute and spread all over the settlement. Marshall Hunt, New York Daily News, June 4th, 1932. The Percheron is a breed of draft horse from the Perche region of France. It is known for its strength, intelligence, muscular build, calm temperament, and elegant but powerful gait. All terms that could describe Lou Gehrig. Because of his awesome batting ability and constant, seemingly invincible dependability, Gehrig is nicknamed the Iron Man or the Iron Horse.
However, by the end of 1938, his seasonal batting average falls to .295, slightly below the excellence benchmark of .300 for the first time since 1925.
There seemed no cause for concern. After all, Gehrig had just completed 16 years of professional baseball, all of them with the Yankees. By that time, Gehrig had played through 2,122 consecutive regular season games for the Yankees. Some eyebrows are raised when Gehrig decides to take a day off before one spring preseason exhibition game in 1939 at Yale Field in Haines, Florida. Technically, since the game does not count for any competitive purpose, Gehrig continues his consecutive appearance streak. Gehrig does start at first base through the first 8 games of the 1939 season for the Yankees, but he does not feel well, nor does he play well. He records only 4 hits through 28 at-bats for a paltry batting average of .143, low enough to demote any other player to a minor league were out of professional baseball completely.
April 30th, 1939, Yankee Stadium. Gehrig goes hitless during the Yankees' 3-2 loss to the Washington Senators.
The box score of April 30th, 1939 depicts the very positive, errorless fielding effort at first base by Gehrig, including 7 putouts and 2 assists. However, the zeros for his batting and the 143 overall batting average is alarming. After the game, Gehrig tells Yankees manager Joe McCarthy, for the good of the team, it is time for him to end his consecutive games played streak. A few minutes before the New York Yankees play their next game in Detroit at Briggs Stadium against the Detroit Tigers, Lou Gehrig walked from the Yankees dugout to home plate, where he hands the Yankees starting lineup card to the umpires. Between June 1925 and April 1939, Gehrig had played an astonishing 2,130 consecutive regular season games without a break. Seconds after Tiger fans do not hear the Briggs Stadium announcer pronounce the name of Lou Gehrig as part of the New York Yankees starting lineup, they know the Iron Horse is not going to play that day. And they realize his record streak of consecutive games played without a break will cease at 2,130 games. Then, according to the Detroit Free Press and other newspapers, Tiger fans rendered loud applause to support Gehrig.
On May 2nd, 1939, Lou Gehrig sits in the Yankees dugout. He watches from the sidelines as his teammates face the Detroit Tigers. Mentally willing, but physically unable to contribute any effort for his teammates.
Babe Dahlgren replaces Gehrig, and the Yankees beat the Tigers by the insanely lopsided score of 22-2 in Detroit at Briggs Stadium. During his 5 at-bats, Dahlgren gets 2 hits, one of them a double, the other one a home run, and he scores twice for the Yankees. Some baseball buffs believe Gehrig is just slowing down a little. He needs rest, like many athletes do as they get older. In fact, Gehrig does play again for the Yankees, briefly, during an exhibition game, June the 12th, 1939, against the minor league Kansas City Blues. But his play at the plate and prowess in the field looks tentative and weak. Nothing is wrong with his head, nor with his heart, but the rest of his body does not respond. After 3 innings, Yankees manager Joe McCarthy removes Gehrig from the field. The Iron Horse, the Percheron, will never play baseball again. Unfortunately, by June 19, 1939, the day of his 36th birthday, The Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota presents Gehrig with devastating news. Doctors indicate he is afflicted with a rare form of muscular paralysis, a condition that would rob any person of the ability to live routinely on a daily basis, let alone play baseball. What began with a grand slam in the Windy City settles in the Bronx with the words, "Thank you." July the 4th, 1939, New York, Yankee Stadium. It is Lou Gehrig Appreciation Day. After the first game of a doubleheader is completed, for about 1 hour, New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia and other dignitaries and athletes gather on the field to offer their best wishes to Gehrig, along with various gifts. Then comes the moment for Gehrig to address a hushed crowd in Yankee Stadium, estimated at more than 62,000. During little more than 2 minutes, Gehrig delivers what historian Marty Apple describes as the baseball equivalent of the Gettysburg Address. With his head lowered toward home plate on the Yankee Stadium field, Gehrig delivers his speech calmly, without notes. According to Stephen K. Wagner, the author of Bronx Epitaph, no complete transcript nor sound recording of the speech exists. Only a few snips of film shot to record the event have been preserved. Therefore, while relying much on Wagner for the best account, the following is the best reproduction of the Gehrig speech the Highland Lakes players can offer. Gehrig begins his speech with just a bare mention of his illness.
Fans, for the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about the bad break I got. Yet today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I've been in ballparks for 17 years and have never received anything but kindness and encouragement from you fans. Mine has been a full life. Newspapers have said nice things about me, which I found hard to believe myself. Look at these grand men. Which of you wouldn't consider it the highlight of his career just to associate with them for even one day? Sure, I'm lucky. Who wouldn't consider it an honor to have known Jacob Ruppert, also the builder of baseball's greatest empire, Ed Barrow? To have spent 6 years with that wonderful little fellow Miller Huggins. Then to have spent the next 9 years with that outstanding leader, that smart student of psychology, the best manager in baseball today, Joe McCarthy. And when you have the privilege of rooming, eating, playing cards, and knowing one of the greatest fellows that ever lived, my roommate, Bill Dickey. Sure, I'm lucky. When the New York Giants, a team you would give your right arm to beat, and vice versa, sends you a gift, that's something. When everybody down to the groundskeepers and those boys in white coats remember you with trophies, that's something. When you have a wonderful mother-in-law who takes sides with you and squabbles against her own daughter, that's something. When you have a father and a mother who work all their lives so you can have an education and build your body, it's a blessing. When you have a wife who has been a tower of strength and shown more courage than you dreamed existed, that's the finest I know. So, I close in saying that I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Wagner notes, the speech has withstood the test of time, and few other speeches have resonated so poignantly. In perhaps the most amazing and heartfelt demonstration ever held on a baseball diamond, they crammed into 1 hour all the appreciation and honor Lou Gehrig earned, but neither asked for nor received in his 15 years of service with the New York Yankees. Sid Feeder, New York, July the 4th, 1939, Associated Press. The speech by Lou Gehrig inspires the poet Edwin Ramon to write. He was scared and did not want to speak to 62,000 people. Maybe he felt facing death was enough to endure. But they kept calling his name till he stepped up to the mic and gave 278 words of thank you and goodbye. His body trembled as he spoke with the voice of a dying man, still strong enough to unlock his heart before thousands and let them all come in.
The same day Gehrig delivers his farewell address in Yankee Stadium, the New York Yankees retire the number 4 he wore on his uniform, ensuring no player for the team would ever wear it again. It is the first such number retirement in baseball history. By midsummer 1939, Gehrig serves as the American League honorary captain in that year's All-Star game. The Yankees permit Gehrig to stay on the team through the remainder of his contract, which expires in October 1939.
While the indomitable spirit of Gehrig lingers over the team, the Yankees defeat the Cincinnati Reds to win the World Series of 1939. After he replaced Gehrig during April 1939, during October of the same year, Babe Dahlgren helped the Yankees secure victory against the Cincinnati Reds and win the World Series. He contributed 1 home run and 2 doubles. Soon after his departure from baseball, as diligently as he can, Gehrig serves as a member of the New York Parole Commission from October 1939 to April 1941, until illness forces him to leave the job. Just before his 38th birthday, June 2nd, 1941, Henry Louis Gehrig died in New York at his home. Paddy O'Connor, the manager who guided young Gehrig at Hartford. Several months before Gehrig moved up from the minor leagues to play for the Yankees, mourned deeply for the deceased slugger like countless others did. "I can't believe it," O'Connor said. "It's terrible. It can't be true."